Paul. How are you? How's it going today? It is very, very, very hot here. I think it's 94 or 95. Not to mention, I've been right here canning and stuff, so the heat is in this space. Had to turn my fan off so that you guys would be able to hear me. Did you step away, Paul? Mike and Momo, hello. How are you doing today? Yeah, I was just saying, I think it's 94 or 95 here today. So it's very hot in here, and I'm canning right now. So I have my canner on back here, and all that heat just stays right here in this space. So it's very hot. Eating as you wait. Okay. Let's see. So anyway, as I said, 94, 95 degrees. I think we're supposed to be that way all week. That's going to be fun. I hope this webcam is working much, much better. But yeah, I've had a little bit of a rough week as far as my body and I don't know, I think, number one, I'm getting older. Seems like as soon as I hit 50, everything started falling apart. But I think I also have, there's just everything that's going on with the mother-in-law and just, life. It's pretty good stress going on. And I think that is causing me some body pain and stuff too, just anxiety. I know it can affect your body in a lot of different ways, but I've just been sore. Picture is blurry. Well, I don't know that I can get much better than that unless I switch to my phone, and that became a fiasco last time, so I don't know if I want to do that. But anyway, yeah, my body's achy, my legs, my feet, my joint, hips, knees, ankles, all that fun stuff. Just been an interesting week. But we had, I think it was on, what is today, Wednesday? It must have been Monday. I think I was on Chris and Larry's live with Chris. And right in the middle of it, I heard what sounded like, almost sounded like a gunshot back behind our house back here. And as soon as I heard that, we lost our power. So we were without power for about 2.5 hours, I think it was. And I was just getting ready to make us something to eat. It would have been like brunch for us. We don't eat too early. So I got to test out some of my my propane and what I would do if I was in a grid down situation. So I was out here on my propane stove making biscuits and gravy and sausage patties and some fried eggs and some hash brown patties. So that was interesting. But anyway, it was off for about 2.5 hours and then came back on. I'm pretty sure the transformer blew. But Hendrickson Family Farm. Hello, how are you doing? It's good enough to keep going. Thanks, Paul. Also, my car, I went to work on, this would have been Thursday and Friday. So Thursday, I started the car, and I left here. Everything was normal. I got to work, and I've mentioned before I am a delivery driver, so I rely on my car. And I got to work and had my first delivery, went out to start the car, and it just went, and then it started. So I thought, okay, well, we'll see how this goes. I took that delivery. I came back. Then I had another set of deliveries, which was a double, 2 deliveries. And when I went out to the car and started, it did the same exact thing. I swear those dogs sometimes are blind. I think that was just my husband coming around the corner and they didn't know who it was. But anyway, so I went back in and I told my boss, I got to get this figured out before we have our Friday night, busy night. So I came home. We got up on Friday morning. I think I'm a day off here. I think it was Wednesday night that it did it the first time. No, it was Thursday. So anyway, Friday morning we got up. I took it to the shop, and they tested everything. They said that they couldn't find anything. So they drove it. They did start and shut it off and all that stuff to kind of mimic what I do at work. And it never did anything to them, so they couldn't find anything wrong. So I brought it home and I went to work on Friday. And I got about 2.5 hours in, and the same thing happened. So I called my husband, and I came home, and as I pulled in the driveway, he was standing there waiting for me. And, I shut the car off, and he said, okay, start it again. And it did the same thing right there in the driveway. But I told him when it did that to me before I came home that day, I got out and popped the hood and played with the battery cables. They were tight, so I couldn't really move them, but I don't know if it was just touching them or what. Then I got back in and it started fine. So I told him I think it's more like a loose connection or something. So he got to playing with them. He loosened them a little bit and realized when he turned the cable one way, it wouldn't start, and turned the cable the other way, it would start. So he just, cleaned everything and made sure it was getting a good connection, made sure it was in the right position, and then tightened everything down again, and it's been working fine since. So, I'm happy that it wasn't, it seems like every time we have a problem with a car, it's like $1,000 or more. We've spent about $5,000 on that car since January. So, but the price of cars anymore, you might as well spend the money fixing what you have because it's outrageous to buy one. So anyway, so that's the kind of week that I've been having. So has anybody else got anything going on this week? Dogs just want to say hello, everybody. Yeah, I guess that's what they want to do, is say hello. I just ate some salsa weekend last year. So good. Watching I missed part of that. Watching the tomatillos in the garden grow. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, my the garden's doing wonderful, but so are the grass and weeds. I don't know. I got to figure something out for next year. But Monk and Momo, mine needs new catalytic converters. Apparently there is 2. I don't know. Yeah, some cars have 2. Some even have up to 4, I think. My mom is trying to decide if she is going to be able to afford $3,200 in repairs or if she has to trade hers in. What a pain. Yeah, that was kind of what we were looking at when we started spending money on this one was, do we try and find another car? First of all, I can't afford a payment on a new car. or anything at a car lot. So no matter what we do, it would be cash. And so we were looking, and it was like the prices they want for the used cars right now. It's you can't afford to buy one. And so we kind of slowly, it was like we put the car in the shop and had a few things fixed, and then put it in, 6 weeks later, a month later, whatever it was, and had a few more things fixed. And like I said, I think at this point we're up to about $5,000. But I mean, it's got new tires, new brakes, new rotors, new. I had to put shocks on it. I've had to put. I mean, it's got a brand new battery. I had to put what was it, boots or something in the front end. I think it was the front end. We've had 2 new fans, radiator fans put in, new water pump. I mean, at this point, it's like half the stuff on the car is new now. So I don't know. It's still kind of scary, but I've still got the gas company changing all the main pipes on the estate, so holes everywhere for another week or 2. Oh God, that sucks. Yeah, our road, I said I'm a delivery driver, and it was kind of funny because you start to realize which roads are bad and which ones are good, which ones they keep up on, And when I first started delivering a few years back, I told my husband, our road is probably the second worst road, just normal, like in town kind of road in this whole city. And about 6 months ago, they finally totally redone the one that is the worst, that was the number one worst. So now our road is the worst one in the whole county. So I don't know. Someday maybe they'll fix it. Probably not, but it's not been good on the suspensions and all that stuff for our cars. So 5,000 is still better than dropping 20K or more. Yours is basically new now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, at this point, I spent $5,000, but like you said, I could have spent 20,000 trying to buy one, and who knows, still had maybe issues that needed to be fixed, because you never know when you're buying something. So I don't know. I feel pretty good about just putting, and I love my car. It's a 2000 Monte Carlo, and it's the 6-cylinder, so I get pretty decent gas mileage for a bigger car. So I'm comfortable without forking out as much in gas, although these days at this price, even just a little bit of driving is expensive. But yeah, so I love the car. That was kind of another deciding factor on whether we just put money into this one or not. So I'm kind of glad we did, but hopefully not a lot left to go wrong. So anybody else got anything going on? I saw on Gathered Together Homestead, I think it was. Yeah, and Jesse came up on the panel, and we were talking about the Creekside Maple. Looks like they finally found a piece of property, put in an offer, and the offer was accepted. So now at least they know what their goal is, what they're trying to put together, what they're trying to get going. So hopefully everything will work out for them. If there's anybody, I think everybody here knows what's going on there. But if you don't, go over to Creekside Maples and see what's going on with their story. So they're the person they were buying their property from is doing them wrong, doing them dirty. But that's just kind of how people are these days, I guess. As I said, I'm doing some canning. So these haven't been canned yet. That one's just vegetables, but I'm canning some beef stew. The ones here are waiting for this load to finish up so that I can put the second load in. But I was making a video for that, so that'll be coming out this week. Also did the video of my storage, like in my pantry and where I keep all my canned goods and such. So I'll be editing that one and hopefully have it out. Hopefully I have this one out for Friday, the canning, and then the storage one out for Monday. And then, like I said, I can try and do videos Monday and Friday and then the live on Wednesday. So that's the goal. Petrol prices suck all over. It's costing me 10 extra for a half a tank than it did in March. Yeah. Get back to work. I just thought I'd stop by and say hello. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Hendrickson Family Farm, and you have a good day. Don't work too hard. Yeah, Paul, I paid $5.49 a couple of days ago. And then my husband and I had to go and do some stuff, some running around this morning. We had to put gas in his truck, and it was $5.68. $5.68 had gone up because it was $5.59 yesterday. Had gone up to $5.68 today. It's just ridiculous. I mean, nobody can afford to go anywhere, even to work. Sometimes it's crazy. I don't know what they're going to do, but. And, you know, like I said, I'm a delivery driver. I think these days, I spend about $120 a week. I get ready to say I put $40 in it the other day, and $40 didn't even get in half a tank. Whereas, you know, a year ago, $40 would have got me somewhere between 3/4 and a full tank, at least 3/4. So it's a little bit of disappointing when you put the gas in and then you get in the car and start the car and you see that gauge go up and then it stops way before you think it should. But yeah, it's crazy, but you just keep trucking along. Gone up 5 pence a liter since last week. Yeah. Well, in this last week, ours has gone up. I believe it started at $5.19, so we've gone up 50 cents in a week. But we've gone up about $1.25 in the last couple of months. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So anyway, what have you guys got going on? Monkey Momo, what are you guys working on right now? I really don't like this. It's the first time I've tried this one. I drink homemade sweet tea all the time. That's all I drink. But I really don't like lemon in my tea. I don't like flavored teas. I just want my tea and my sugar, and that's it. But I knew I wasn't going to have time to make any before I jumped on here on my live, and I had to run up to the Dollar General right up the store for a second. And so I got one just to have something to drink until I got done here, and it tastes like it has way too much lemon in it. It's kind of gross. Blueberries are here, so picking them. That's cool. I have two blackberry bushes, which I planted those year before last, and we got a few off of it last year. And the two bushes are actually, one of them is a side shoot or whatever from the first one, because I had to transplant them, had to move them to a different spot. But those two are doing very well. And then I just put in a blueberry and a boysenberry this year. So they're still, you know, this big. but I'm hoping that next year I'll have a few anyway off of them, and then the year after that get a nice picking, because I think I'm probably the only one in my family. I mean, they like fruits or whatever, but for like pies and cobblers and different things like that, they're happy with peach and apple. That's all they ever really care for. But I love like the triple berry pies, or blueberry cobbler and stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited to have some berries for me. Make some berry jams and jellies and syrups and all that fun stuff. Monk and Momo, studying while listening. Garden is getting full of weeds. The bees are needing tending. So much stuff, and I won't have time until next week. Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear that one. I still got so much stuff to do out there, and never enough time to do it. And again, grass and weeds. It's just getting so frustrating because I don't know what to do. I think before I'm just going to deal with it this year. It's terrible because where my asparagus and stuff is on the one end, there is, I mean, it's like a luscious layer of grass with the asparagus spears sticking up through them. It's crazy. So I think next year I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and get out there and kind of dig them out. And I've been wanting, my beds are cinder block. They're only one high. I've been wanting to go 2 high to make them taller. And so I think I'm just going to kind of dig out a lot of the dirt that's in them, get my second high cinder blocks put in, and put fresh compost and soil that doesn't have a bunch of weeds and stuff in it, hopefully, and try and start fresh next year with fresh soil and see what happens. I mean, I know I'm going to get grass and weeds, and I don't mind going out there and picking some, but this is just absolutely ridiculous how fast and how many. I can't keep up with it. There's just no way. And then at some point I tell myself, why bother, So I don't know. We have boysenberry that is doing really well. The raspberries are questionable. Yeah, I haven't planted. Yeah, raspberries I did plant. No. What did I say I planted? I have blackberries. I planted boysenberry and blueberry. Okay. Yes, raspberries would be the next one that I want to get, but I hear they're a little harder. They're not quite as hardy as some of the other berries, but I'll get these going first, and maybe next year I can put in a raspberry and see if I can get it growing. There's no point in putting anything else in over there until I get the weeds and grass under control. So I don't know. But I have tomatoes on my plants. I have some that are probably this big now, but of course they're still green. But that's the best part. I love to walk out to the garden and see, all the little startings. You have cucumbers that are, this big, and like I said, the little tomatoes. I've harvested, 4 times the radishes and stuff like that that's out there. I've harvested some of the lettuce and stuff, and I even got a volunteer broccoli plant that came up inside one of the cells of the cinder blocks. And I think it was from last year. And it got a nice bunch of broccoli at the top of it. And then we started getting these 90-degree temps. So I just went ahead and picked it because there's no way. It's broccoli. It's not going to like this hot weather. So I went ahead and picked that and then pulled the plant out because, like I said, it's coming up through a cinder block. But that's my favorite part about this time of year, though, is to go out there and see all the growth and all the stuff starting, new fruits and vegetables coming up on the trees, and that's the best part. And the fruit trees, I have a ton of fruit trees, so I'm kind of excited about getting started with that stuff. My apple pie fillings and peach. We have a couple of Alberta peach trees, but they're a little softer peach, which is wonderful for eating fresh and doing things fresh. But when I try and make peach pie filling or something like that out of them, or just canned peaches, they get a little mushy because they're just naturally a softer peach. So 2 years ago, we planted a Loring peach, which is supposed to be one of the best ones for canning because it is uh, cling free and a firmer peach, so that hopefully when we can them, they won't turn to mush. They'll stay pretty firm, at least as good as the canned peaches you buy in the store as far as texture. So that's kind of cool. It's I think we got one peach off of it last year, and it's got some buds on it this year. So hopefully at least get a few this year. And then my husband, his favorite fruit is cherries, and he's tried for years to grow a cherry tree, cherry bush, whatever, and has had issues. Every one of them dies. The one we planted out front had the moles got to it, ate the roots. So it had one little piece that came up and actually got some green on it and stuff. So he took that and he babied it. And this was last year. And it had like 5 cherries on it. And just when he's getting ready to pick them, the birds got them. So he still didn't get no cherries. So this year he created a little contraption around it with bird netting and stuff so that the birds can't get to it. And we've got a handful, 8 or 10 cherries that look like they're almost ready. So he's hoping he can get them before anything else does. So anyway, he's babying that one really, really hard, hoping that he can have a successful cherry tree. So that's been fun. But yeah, we have peaches, pears. Well, we have 2 kinds of peaches, 3 actually, because we have a white peach tree too. We have the pineapple pears, then apricots, plums, 2 kinds of plums, pluots, pomegranates, apples. I said oranges, like 2 different kinds of oranges, including mandarin oranges, kumquats, lemons, figs, walnuts, pecans, limes. Trying to walk around the yard thinking what we have here. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kinds of grapes, grapevines growing. So yeah, I mean, for only having 2/3 of an acre, we accomplish a lot on this space. So our boysenberry that is doing really well. Okay. Our cherry tree had 11 this year. We planted it, I think, 5 years ago. I hope he enjoys them. I keep trying to grow pineapple from the store, and they keep rotting in the core. Change the water every day, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I've watched a lot of videos and people talk about growing the pineapple, but I've never done it myself, so I'm no help for you there. But I would like to try it sometime. You only need the chocolate for a fruit and nut bar. Hi, Sarah. How are you? How are you doing? But anyway, yeah, like I said, 2/3 of an acre. We've got 30 plus fruit trees, fruit, nut, citrus, grapevines, all that good stuff. So I think we're doing pretty good as far as that goes. I wish I could have a much bigger garden. That's my goal, more garden space. But it's kind of hard with everything going on right now. I was going to expand some this year, but I just don't have the time. So maybe next year. we doing on time? 27, okay. I hope that canner's not too loud. I got my beef stew in the canner and trying to get that one done so I can put the next batch in. And I actually did the beef stew, then I did the leftover vegetables that I had, put them in some of the gravy, and then took all the rest of the gravy and canned it. So that's kind of cool. And like I said, that video will be out hopefully for Friday. Plenty of time. Yeah. Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by plenty of time. It's kind of early in the season for a lot of people, but you got to remember I'm in California. I actually had my plants in the ground in the end of February, beginning of March. So you can hear the bubbles, but nothing serious. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I think I've got about 15 more minutes and I'll have to turn those off. But so that's cool. Well, looks like you're the only one left, Paul. I don't know. Plenty of time before Mama V starts. Oh, okay. Yeah. I kind of look forward to, at first, with the mother-in-law and stuff. My husband has six brothers and sisters. There's 7 of them total, but there's 3 of them, maybe 4, that kind of come regularly. And then for the last 2 weeks, her oldest daughter has been here full time for the last 2 weeks, just helping with taking care of her and stuff. But when they kind of set all this up, they set it up to where different people would come on different days. And my days off from work are Tuesday and Wednesday. And so they tried to give me Tuesday where I could do what I wanted and not have to worry about what was going on with her. The problem is it's my first day off, and it's usually the day that, we need to go to the grocery store, and it's also a day when the nurses come and the nurse's aide comes for bathing, and there's just so much going on Tuesdays that I can't get anything done. So now we're trying to do Wednesdays. So I kind of enjoy I do my live and then go right into the whole family night. For me, it starts at, it's 2 o'clock for my live, but starts at 3 and doesn't end till 7. And by 7 o'clock, I'm ready to go in, sit down with my husband and watch a little bit of TV before we get ready to go to bed. So I enjoy that me time because it's really the only me time I get that I'm not working. So, but it works. I also, I am very new to the whole YouTube thing and, merchandise and all the things involved in trying to eventually turn it into a business. So as I'm watching other people, I keep like setting this up and setting that up and whatever. So over the last couple of weeks, I think I got my merchandise store set up, which is cool. And the sister-in-law that's staying here for 2 weeks, she actually ordered one of the coffee cups 2 weeks ago when I first set it up. And her boyfriend came down to visit and brought her the coffee cup because it had come in the mail while she was here. And so it was kind of cool to see. It's the first time I've seen, my logo on a product. So it was really cool to see that. And it turned out really good. Looks really good. I should probably get it and show it to you. It's really, really nice. I think I will. Give me 1 second. Let's see. I don't know how well you guys can see that. That's the 15-ounce cup. And I am very happy with the way that turned out. So cool. I hear that. I was looking after my mother-in-law, my ex as well. That's the 3 kids all on my own. I loved any moments I could grab for myself. Yeah. That's, I don't get enough of them. But, I always figure that this is going to be over probably in the very near future. I don't think we have too much longer to go. So I think I'm always going to look back on this. It's not like I want to rush it. I enjoy the time that I get to spend with her, and it'd be nice to be able to look back and remember this time together when it's all said and done. So I'm not complaining. I was talking to my mom one day. She kind of said the same thing. I'm not complaining by any means. I'm just kind of stating the facts. It's just the way it is, but I wouldn't change it for the world. So, but anyway, yeah. So I got the merchandise store set up. So that's cool. And I don't know how many people from here use things like, the Amazon wish list and all that kind of stuff. I don't have enough people care about me to worry about it too much. But I've seen that a lot of people, get stuff from people off of their Amazon wish list. So I was just kind of curious if anybody else does that and how that works. So now I'm trying to decide if I need to set up my own, web page and start getting things in place to make it easier hopefully when things get a little bigger, have more subscribers, more going on, and it starts becoming somewhat of a business. I mean, I probably have a couple of years before I have to worry about that. But Redbird Farm, hi. Hello. Can't stay long, but wanted to say hi. I appreciate it so much. I'm just glad you stopped in. We're just chit-chatting. Kind of the same old stuff with everything going on right now. Not much changes from week to week, except maybe I get a couple things canned and, car breaks down, body hurts, power outage at the house, those kind of things. But as far as all the normal stuff, it's all about the same. Brenda, I was just showing my coffee cup. I got my merchandise store set up, and this was my sister-in-law ordered the first one. I was so excited to see it in person. Sounds like around my house. Tree Haven, hello. How are you? How are you doing today? Guess I could put this where people can see it, huh? Nice cut. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you. But yeah, pretty much the same old, same old. But I do believe I'm not going to be too far away from, harvesting tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff. Because like I said, I have tomatoes about this big and cucumbers, and we all know how that can be. You go out there one day and your cucumber's this big, and you go out there the next day and it's like it's this big. So that can be pretty interesting. I have a couple of little squash. The squash is the same way. You look out there one day and it just looks like it's just now getting started, and if you skip a day and then go out there the next day, it's too big. So that's cool. I didn't think you could have them restored till after you reach 1,000. I'm behind. Well, actually, I did this through Streamlabs. That's the one that Janet-Homestead used, Mike and Terry. And so I set it up through there, and then I just put a link in my descriptions for now. And, have t-shirts and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I just set it up that way. So, Polarin, hello, hello. How are you? Long time no see. I hope Crystal's still on the mend, Jess. I cannot seem to break before 60 mark. Paul, all that effort you put in, every time you put out those messages and telling people trying to get to 500, and get 4, 5, 6 subscriptions, and then the next day they drop off. So I get excited, and it's like, awesome, cool, got 5 more, and then the next day, oh, nope, lost 5. So I don't know. Arizona, is that okay? AZ Highland Homestead, is that Arizona? I see you all the time. I hear you talking all the time. And I never quite know how to say your name. And I'm guessing that's Nick, right? Nick is I hope it's Arizona Highland Homestead. Arizona, yes, ma'am. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it didn't stand for something else that I didn't know about. I assumed it was Arizona, but I don't want to say it and be wrong and keep saying it. So I figured I would ask. Has anybody else got anything exciting going on? Good exciting, bad exciting? I don't know, just exciting? Something different from the mundane everyday life? Hubby's home with supper. Yum. Canning this beef stew, and that's what we're having for dinner. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So it better be good. Janet, if you can make it to our live stream tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific, I'll do my best to get you to 500. 6 a.m. And I am Pacific time, so that is 6 a.m. for me. I will do my best. If we have a good night with the mother-in-law, then I'm usually up by then. But if it's been a bad night, there's no telling. So I will do my best to try and catch you at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Cool. So anyway, yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out if I need to start a web page. I'm not good at all this stuff. It takes me a week or two of research, trying to decide which one to use, and then trying to learn how to use that one. I mean, I'm a pretty quick study, and once I get into using something, I learn it fast and I get really good at it. But it's just trying to figure out which ones to use, and it's the learning curve. So I don't know. Trying to figure out, do I need to worry about starting one now? Because a lot of people say you're better off to start while you're small and, you know, have one that'll grow with you. I don't know. Hope to see you there. I can get you a few more tonight. Just keep doing what you're doing. It took forever for us to get from 400 to 500. We'll get there soon. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm doing very well. I know that. But it is a little frustrating when for, 2 weeks in a row, I've been staying in that between 440 and 460, and it's like they go up, then they go down, then they go up, then they go down, and, you know, it can be a little discouraging, but I do know that I'm doing well, and I'll get there. So I'm not too worried about it. And I'm trying to get better with. I know I'm not really good at the videos. Part of that is equipment, and part of that is just not enough knowledge of editing software. YouTube roller coaster, yeah. But I'm trying to get better each time. So hopefully you can see that when you watch my videos, you can see the progression. And then the other thing is, it seems like, you know, you're doing good and you can see progression, and then something happens. I mean, like on the live, 2 weeks ago, when everything that went wrong, that could go wrong, went wrong, you know. And the same thing will happen with the videos. It'd be, you know, something happened with the audio on this one, and then the video on that one sucks, and when you try and put the two together, it just doesn't work, and, you know. So I get better, and then I have a bad one. And I get better and better and better, and then have a bad one. But I know that's just part of the learning curve. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist sometimes, and so I get frustrated when I can't get it the way I want it. But I'm learning. Yeah, YouTube roller coaster. But yeah, I know I'll get there. If I missed any comments. Oh, what time is it? No, so that's technology can be frustrating. Yeah, it can. It can be very frustrating sometimes. But at the same time, it's, you know, one of the best things there is. It's just, you gotta love it, but you gotta hate it at the same time. And I hope that's not getting too loud again. It's starting to get a little bit louder. Yeah, just a few more minutes and I'll be turning that off. So. No. Yeah, for like, was that Nick at Arizona Highland, Tree Haven, for you guys? That's what's going on in this canner. That noise that you're hearing is the canner back here. I'm canning some beef stew. So, heck, just life can be frustrating too. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like everything that I have going on right now is frustrating. It's like the the second night when I was telling you guys about my car situation and it breaking down on me at work, that second night when I was telling my boss, you know, I got to go and I got to get this fixed, I was almost in tears. Told him, I said, can anything go right? Because at that point, it just felt like everything was going wrong. And, you know, I tried to fix it, took it to the shop, tried to get it all taken care of before we started the Friday night, busy night. And it's just frustrating, very frustrating. Like I said, I was almost in tears, not because, you know, I'm one of those who cries when they're, not cries, but my eyes water when I get angry or frustrated. And the more I try and stop it, the worse it gets. And so I was like trying to hold back, not outright crying at work, but at least it turned out to be something simple, and it's been working fine since. So I guess I can't complain too much. I missed a little bit of work, but you know, the wages that I missed while I was at work was still minute compared to what the cost of fixing the car could have been. All right, I'm going to reach back here and turn this off. Good to see you. We'll be live tomorrow evening around 9 Central, 7 for me, okay? If you can make it, I have to run and pick up my grandson. 5. Yeah, I'm at work when you guys do your lives, but I do come on and I listen and I try and comment every now and then, but I am almost always listening. I'm usually there. Paul, it can also just be hard. Yep. That it can. Oh, yeah, that's a lot quieter. You don't realize how much noise that's making. So I'll wait till we're done. Well, it's going to take that long for it to come down to pressure anyway, from pressure, before I start this next one. So, has anybody else got anything they want to add? Chime in here. No, I think I'm caught up there. Yeah, you can take that more than one way. No. But I got this webcam hooked up correctly. I think, is the video, I know you guys said it was blurry, but is it better than it was last week? That would be my question, because I know it was very delayed, not delayed, but sluggish when I moved around and stuff. I'm hoping this webcam's going to work good enough for a while, because it's going to be a little while before I can get anything else. Yeah, it seemed like it worked best when I used my phone as the webcam. And I may have to still try and do that, but I definitely have to make sure that it's plugged in and charged before I start, and then try and keep it plugged in while I'm on the live. So I may try that next week and see if it does a little better. So sorry about that. And part of it too, it could be my internet. My internet absolutely sucks. We're in an area, we pay for the extra high speed, and that is not what we get. I don't know how many times a day I lose internet on my computer when I'm watching lives and stuff, and it's so frustrating to pay the amount of money that we pay and to have the trouble that I have. So part of that actually could be my internet. I don't know. I am using a laptop. That is the only computer I have right now. And it's a cheap laptop. That's why I had to get a different external webcam. How many do you have now, Janet? Should see a few more. Oh, I haven't looked. Me. Oh, wow. 8 more. 8 more while I was on here with you guys. Thank you. I don't know what you did, but thank you. Yeah, so I am up to 468 if those stick. See, that's the key. Every time this happens, the next day they seem to drop off. So we'll see what happens. If they stick, that's 468. Lone Star Pioneering, hello. Thank you for stopping in. Even if you can't stay, I just appreciate you popping your head in and saying hello. I wish it could have made it more. YouTube will take some away and then some should get added back. Cool. Cool. All right, guys. Well, we got 5 minutes before Mama V, and I need to go in and use the restroom and start getting, well, no, I can't do anything with that yet. But anyway, get myself ready so I can sit and watch Mama V and all the rest of them tonight. So I think we will call it a night right here. I appreciate those of you who did stop in, and I promise I am trying to make the quality of this stuff a little better. And I promise someday when I come on here, it's not going to be the same old, same old. So things will be getting a little better. So anyway, let's wrap this up here. Appreciate you guys. Some of you, I'm sure I will see at Mama V. But if I don't, I look forward to seeing you later. So have a good one, guys.